These are exciting times at the Royal BC Museum. We're embarking on a path of renewal to fulfill our promise as the cultural cornerstone of British Columbia and as one of the world's leading museums and archives. We have shared the BC story for more than 120 years and will be here for your children, your grandchildren, and their grandchildren. The Royal BC Museum is located on one of the world's most attractive sites, overlooking Victoria's Inner Harbour. Our unique cultural precinct covers 2 hectares and contains historic buildings, gardens, and plazas. The Fannin and BC Archives buildings house British Columbia's precious collections of artifacts and specimens. This is also where our world-class researchers add to the ever-growing body of scientific and cultural knowledge. The precinct is also home to our partners, the Friends of Royal BC Museum Foundation, the National Geographic IMAX Theatre, and a cafe operated by local icon Willie's Bakery. Other features of this site include Thunderbird Park, Mungo Martin House, and the Netherlands Centennial Carillon. The Royal BC Museum is a renowned destination for some of the world's greatest traveling exhibitions. Titanic the Artifact Exhibition, Eternal Egypt, and Treasures the World's Cultures from the British Museum. These exhibitions draw thousands of visitors to Victoria from around the province, across Canada, and beyond. Perhaps our greatest value is that the Royal BC Museum is the keeper of British Columbia's cultural and environmental heritage. The Royal BC Museum holds the collections, artifacts, and interpretation of all that is British Columbia, and we share it, its beauty and its story, with the world. We care for more than 7 million artifacts, specimens, and records that tell the story of our province. Our renowned curators, archivists, conservators, collection managers, and exhibition designers are award-winning and among the best in the world. They specialize in such areas as climate change, textiles, entomology, coastal rainforests, and First Nations history. Collectively, we know more about British Columbia's insects, marine ecosystems, cultural evolution, genealogy, and, yes, woolly mammoths, than anyone on Earth. This is why we exist and why we matter. This year, the Royal BC Museum was named one of Canada's top 100 employers for the second time and one of BC's top employers for the 3rd year running. We welcome close to 1 million people each year to our public spaces, creating countless opportunities to share BC's story with the province and the world. An astonishing 2/3 of our visitors are from British Columbia, which shows how important we are to you. Last year, our website enjoyed more than 15 million hits. Titanic the Artifact Exhibition, our 2007 feature exhibition, generated 742 jobs and $30.2 million in economic impact to southern Vancouver Island. More importantly, our overall economic impact to the province in 2007-2008 was $45.9 million. And let's not forget our role as a place of learning for BC's children. More than 20,000 children visit our museum and archives every year free of charge, and our in-school programs reach thousands more. We're passing down the story of BC and igniting imagination and inspiring inquiry. Our value to this province and to all who visit British Columbia is far-reaching. The Royal BC Museum vision includes the creation of exhibitions and programs that reach out to all British Columbians. We seek to engage the public with the dramatic and fascinating story of this land and its people. In 2008, we created Free Spirit, Stories of You, Me, and BC, an exhibition made up entirely from our own collections. The Free Spirit exhibition was created to mark the 150th anniversary of British Columbia, and it truly reached out across the province through its website, traveling exhibitions, book, DVD, and of course, the main exhibition in Victoria. Free Spirit invited British Columbians to contribute their own histories, their own stories of how this land has shaped their experience. Projects like Free Spirit demonstrate the connection the Royal BC Museum has to all British Columbians, whether they live in Port Hardy, Cranbrook, Dawson Creek, Vancouver, or Prince George. The Royal BC Museum vision for the future is about reaching our full potential as a museum and archives. Our goal, over several years, is to transform the Royal BC Museum to become better known and more valued across the province. We will become, in every sense, British Columbia's museum and archives. This calls for major initiatives on-site, off-site, and online. Central to our vision is the need for spaces and technologies that inspire visitors, protect our collections, and allow our work to flourish at the museum and archives, and to expand to locations across the province. Achieving this will enhance our reputation as an innovative institution, one that is emulated the world over. But why now? What is driving this vision right now? It's simple. The Royal BC Museum has reached a tipping point. 2/3 of our funding comes from government, and while we make the best use of every dollar, we rely on community support for the rest. Despite our programs, there exist critical problems we have not been able to address. Our collection storage areas are so overfilled it is becoming impossible for us to live up to our mandate of preserving the province's heritage. Many records and archives are at risk of being lost forever. For example, more than 60,000 archival photographs and films that document the history of our province and its people are literally disintegrating. Valuable paintings by Emily Carr and other artists are stored below sea level because we have nowhere else to keep them. Our buildings are deteriorating, and outdated technologies limit our capacity to mount certain types of high-profile international touring exhibitions. Furthermore, we have limited and dwindling resources for province-wide outreach. We have to become more visible across BC if we are to succeed and live true to our mandate. We must take action now to ensure these precious artifacts and specimens are preserved for today and for future generations. There are 3 cornerstones to the Royal BC Museum vision. First, we aspire to become British Columbia's leading cultural centre dedicated to preserving the province's identity and collective memory. We hold BC's history and heritage in our hands, and we're in the best position to become the cultural heart of the province. Our vision requires taking measures to increase our presence and programming outside Victoria to reach out across BC. We must become better known to more people. We aim to bridge cultures and bring together generations in a center for debate, reflection, and knowledge. Only then will we broaden our reach to everyone who shares a connection to British Columbia. The second cornerstone of the Royal BC Museum vision is to become a landmark physical site and virtual environment, a must-see destination for anyone visiting British Columbia or visiting us online. We will transform the visitor experience through new dramatic BC galleries. We envision improved collection spaces, research spaces, and preservation technologies. We imagine increased display and access to our provincial treasures. And to fulfill our dream of connecting with all British Columbians, we will dramatically enhance our online experience and expand our community-based programs to reach out across the province. Third and finally, we will further our reputation as one of the preeminent cultural museums and archives in the world. In realizing the sum total of this vision, we know the outcome will be greater recognition for the Royal BC Museum and for the extraordinary province in which we live. Given the diversity of our collections, our impressive site and cultural precinct, and our wealth of talent and knowledge, our vision is entirely achievable. It's a bold dream, one that promises to unite British Columbians and inspire global visitors for generations. Our vision for a transformed Royal BC Museum requires the mobilization and support of many partners. With your shared enthusiasm and support, we can make BC's museum and archives a point of immense pride for the province of British Columbia and for all who live here.